Appreciate Jerome allowing me to be on this panel today. Finding deals is one of my favorite things to do. I am currently investing in Georgia.
I have a home renovation business coaching program right now. We're buying assets in Florida, Alabama, Missouri, and then also looking around in the Hampton Roads, Virginia area. Right now, I have 34 doors under my belt and continue to grow the portfolio across the Southeast.
We followed with smaller multifamily units here in LA. So we have 3 here in the downtown area, one in Hollywood, one in Koreatown, and one in Echo Park.
I'm investing actively in North Carolina, Central North Carolina, kind of triangle area, at least kind of the outskirts of the triangle. Triangle itself is maybe a little bit too hot for me. Active investor, 20 doors between my wife and myself, and then LP in 5 deals, and always just looking to see what else is out there and what else can make happen.
I ran across it preparing for appraisal for my duplex, and there was a commercial lot behind me that was listed for sale. And so I was looking up commercial properties on the MLS, and when I ran across it, and 45 days, I think it's probably about 40 days prior to that, I had went to a multifamily seminar, the first time ever going to one, and kind of got schooled about how close I was because we were fixing and flipping houses and using the BRRRR strategy to add single families to our portfolio.
Christy, tell us about your first deal.
I went and found a deal that absolutely did not work. I knew it wasn't going to work. It was a horrible.
I found the first deal on Craigslist. It was too small for the big dogs, but too big for regular mom and pop. The deal was in Michigan. I sent the LOI. The numbers looked good. I kept calling the broker. One time the broker told me, look, your offer looks good, and I appreciate they are very persistent, but no one in your team has seen the property. And I said, well, what about the property manager? He manages however many thousand units. He said, yes, but he's not the decision maker.
It took a number of months to kind of get to your first deal. So talk to me. I'm going to stick with Mauricio.
It was tough at first because our concern was our daughter, right? I mean, she was born, the hospital was on lockdown, everything. And all you hear in the news was just horrible stuff. So it was very difficult. And the deal kind of became a second. The challenge was, okay, so I got this first deal because I was able to fly out there. And I was able to show how interested I am. I can't do that anymore. So how do I get another deal, right? How do I convince these people that I can close? And at that time, as you guys can remember, Zoom meetings started to pop up everywhere. That really helped me a lot. I started to network with multifamily individuals because if I network with colleagues or you name it, the topics were always the same. So multifamily became a little bit of an escape for me where I could unplug from the world and just talk to people that were all going the same direction that I was going.
There's things that you have to take into account when you go into a multifamily. We're looking at some of the CapEx and being able to understand your ratios and the dependencies. But when you start looking at just at the renovation side of it and the expenditures and being able to kind of be good with your numbers, and then that way you kind of hone in on your risk profile and understanding how much money and capital you have to deploy in to make the units rent ready to command that market rate, that you get a lot more comfortable. And as you're making more offers, you're going to get more comfortable.
So I think you really need to know, but then you also need to be ready to take your shot, right? I think that's the biggest thing is, it's easy to talk about, it's easy to get on Zooms, it's easy to get on networking groups, but are you willing to throw down 15 hard, and if it doesn't work out, you just walk away without of it, that's the market that we're in today, right?
We have a team of, 7 or 8 people that are in constant contact with different investors across the world. That's how we do it. We're constantly talking on the phone, emailing, texting, however we need to get the investors to come on board.
Where do you want to be 5 years, 10 years from now? Are you close to retirement? Are you looking to generate $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 of passive income? Because really for anybody, wherever you're at, real estate is a vehicle to get you, but you got to know where you're going.
I was in the whole $15,000, my wife was like, what the hell are you doing? Is this really meant to make money or just continue losing money? So, it takes money to make money, right? At the end of the day, that's the reality.
There is a cost of doing business. There's overhead, there's expenses when you're setting up a business. I think from a psychology standpoint that I chart, the legal fees, the inspections, the walkthroughs, those are the costs of doing business. So from that standpoint, you got to have cash reserves. You got to have that money set aside in order to execute the service or the product of the business or whatever it is you're generating. So a lot of that, the legal fees, for any business that you're going to go out there and stand up, and there's going to be expenses.
And I started with Dave Lindahl's group. I started off there. I think it was like around $40,000 to begin with there. And because I was green and they saw me coming a mile away, I just kept buying things that I didn't know that I didn't need. And so before it was all over with, I was close to $100,000 on that one. And continuing coaching, I actually coach with Jerome Myers. I don't know if you guys know him, but I coach with him on a regular basis just to keep my mindset straight in the multifamily space.
When we decided to get into multifamily, that was one of the first things that we wanted to do, is find a coach. When you're dealing with other people's money, it's just too much liability. So we needed someone with experience to look over our shoulders. We spent about 30 in education plus travel, conferences, probably another 10 or 15. So we're about 40 to 45.